Sir, I failed again.
Oh dear. My name is Yota Makishima. And one of my junior colleagues is ranked at the very bottom of the sales team. This is her second year in the company, but to this day, ever since she was hired, she hasn't been able to get one single sales contract. And because of that, our boss was furious. Was today the same reason?
Yes, the customer was so scary. I wasn't able to speak well to them.
Apparently, this girl was not good at talking to strangers. She gets flustered easily, she gets too nervous, and her voice gets really small too. But to begin with, it was ridiculous to tell someone like her to go get a sales contract by herself. According to our boss, he thinks that throwing her into the flames would be helpful, but at this rate, I don't think that her mental state will last much longer. I'll do my best to explain it well to the higher-ups.
I'm very sorry for being so useless.
She seems really down about it. It's probably better that I take care of her. It's only your second year since joining the company. You still have plenty of room to grow. More importantly, tomorrow's a Saturday, so it's a day off. But do you have any plans tonight?
What? Are you asking?
Yeah, I was wondering if you would want to get dinner. Of course, there's no pressure.
Yes, I'll go.
I'm glad. Well, then I'll reach out to you again later. After saying just that, I went towards my boss. It was my responsibility as a senior colleague to take responsibility for my junior colleague's shortcomings. I'll get yelled at in her place.
I'm very sorry. Because of me, you had to get yelled at.
After we finished work, we're heading towards some place to eat, and Miss Hayama apologized to me once again. You don't need to worry about it. That's also part of my role as a person in charge of training you.
But you were in charge of training only for the first years. No, that's not the case.
Actually, as a special case, I am technically still in charge of training, just her. But I do feel like it's better to keep that secret from her. Normally, the training program only applied to employees in their first year, but in her case, because her sales history was still at 0, I've still been placed in charge of training her. But I think she'll be devastated to hear this, so I can't tell her.
This is such a fancy restaurant. It's my first time coming to a place like this.
This is also my first time coming in here, but it has a nice atmosphere.
It almost feels like a date.
What?
Oh, no, nothing.
Are you sure? She just said that really loudly. If she can raise her voice this much, she should be able to speak loudly in other scenarios, right? Anyways, let's order some drinks.
I would like you to have this one. The case is orange.
Interesting, you're gonna have a cocktail. Well then, maybe I should have one too. In that case, I think I'll have a draft beer.
I didn't know that he drinks alcohol. In that case, maybe I should also order alcohol. But I've never drank alcohol before. What if I get drunk and he sees an embarrassing side of me? I'll never be able to recover.
Well then, I'm gonna go ahead and order the drinks first. That way we can take our time to order food.
Yes.
And so I ordered a draft beer and 1 Cassis orange from the waiter. Soon after our drinks arrived and we began drinking them, but Ms. Ayama was knocked out almost immediately. Ms. Ayama?
I guess I can't really drink alcohol.
Then why did you order it?
I thought it was juice. That's why I ordered it.
What, even though it was under the cocktails list? Well, I guess when it says orange, one might think it's just orange juice. She'd already graduated college, and normally most people would have had some kind of experience with alcohol in their college days. However, she was quite the introverted and overthinking personality. I could easily imagine that she'd never gone to any parties or anything. Now that I think about it, at last year's company party, she also wasn't drinking alcohol. You okay? You didn't drink very much at all, so I don't think it will last very long.
Okay.
She doesn't seem very okay. Luckily, we hadn't ordered any food yet. After that, I paid and carried her out to the restaurant. When we got outside, I supported her as she walked down the street at night. I wanted to put her in a taxi and send her home, but… Ms. Ayama, are you okay? Are you asleep? What? How can you fall asleep in this situation? Well, when you're drunk, I guess you can get very sleepy. I guess I should wake her up first. That's what I thought, and I tried to wake her up, but… She wouldn't wake up. No matter how much I spoke to her or shook her body or tapped her lightly, she wouldn't wake up. It seemed like she was in a deep sleep already. What do? I don't know her address either. Should I ask somebody in the company? No, definitely not. They will definitely have the wrong suspicions. One little misunderstanding and next week all the female employees could hate me. I have no choice until she wakes up. I guess I'll look after her at my place. I flagged down a taxi and I took her back to my place. At the very least, it seemed like she trusted me. And as long as I explained the situation to her, I'm sure she would believe me that I haven't done anything to her. Alrighty, that should do. When we arrived at my house, I laid her down on my bed. I can explain the rest to her when she wakes up. That being said, the situation, if this was a rom-com, this would be the point where the drunk heroine shows a sweet side to the main character. Surely that would never happen, right? In a strange turn of events, for some reason, my heart was pounding out my chest. And then... nothing happened, and the morning arrived. Well, yeah, of course, because she was asleep the whole time. I was only awake so I could explain everything to her when she woke up. That's the truth, alright? Oh, are you awake?
Mr. Makashima? What are you doing in my room?
Oh, actually, this is my room.
What? It really is. This isn't my room.
Last night we were having dinner together. You got drunk and fell asleep. I didn't know how to get you home, so I just brought you to mine.
What have I done?
Oh, you were just sleeping. Nothing else happened, so don't worry, okay?
Not that, but I can't believe I was in such an embarrassing state in front of you. I can't live anymore.
No, there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
That's a lie. You're always so kind that you're just being nice right now. I can't believe I got drunk and fell asleep. That's so pathetic.
I promise that's not true. Not only was she introverted, but perhaps she really didn't like herself because she would often beat herself up. Even now, that part of her was making an appearance. Really, everything is fine, so please don't worry.
Are you sure you don't hate me?
Why'd I hate you? Miss Hayama, you're my adorable junior colleague.
Really? Is that true?
Of course it is.
Are you sure you don't think of me as a pain as your useless junior colleague?
I don't think that at all. I plan on looking after you for the rest of my life. Well, of course, once a few years pass by, I'm sure she'll be able to do her job properly on her own, but to begin with, apparently she wanted to get a job in sales because she wanted to get over her fear of talking to people. Well, to be honest, most people like her don't make it past the interview, but apparently the HR manager was touched by her sentiment, and he ended up hiring her. And that's why one of the higher-ups in the HR department has told our bosses to take good care of her in particular. Because of that, that's why she was getting a little bit of special treatment.
For the rest of my life? Do you mean?
What's the matter?
Is there a reason that you kindly brought me to this room? Was it because it was me?
What? I mean, well, I guess so. If she was a complete stranger, there's no way I would have brought her all the way here.
In that case, does that mean from the beginning you were...
Miss Hayama?
I'm sorry. I'm going to go home now. Once I get my parents' permission, I'll contact you straight away.
What do you mean your parents permit...
If you'll excuse me.
And she's gone. Sometimes I really don't understand Miss Hayama, because she has a tendency to have strange outbursts. I assume that was the case this time as well. That being said, if she can raise her voice like that, I'm sure she'll be able to be great in sales. In the end, I didn't hear from Miss Hayama for the rest of that day. Or the next day, on Sunday, there was no message. It wasn't until the following Monday morning that she took action.
Sir, good morning.
Good morning, Miss Hayama. Were you able to get some rest yesterday?
It was a little frantic.
Oh, really? Well then, are you still feeling tired?
I'm okay, thank you. More importantly, sir, this.
What is this?
Please don't look at it until you get home. Right now, it's a little too embarrassing.
What do you mean, embarrassing? Don't tell me it's a love letter. As if that would ever be the case. This is a super timid Miss Ayama. I'm sure she's not the type of girl to ask a guy out, and more than anything, I'm 5 years older than her. But in that case, what could it be?
Also, I've decided to resign from this company.
Where is this coming from? I couldn't hide my shock from her sudden announcement. She's quitting? There was no sign of that last Friday.
I'm actually going to get married. I was very happy to receive the proposal, and he was my ideal partner, so I don't think I was cut out for this job in the first place. When I spoke to my mother about it, she told me that I should become a full-time housewife and support my husband.
I see, so you really are resigning. Who knew that she had a boyfriend? I guess you can never tell with some people. For some reason, I felt a sharp sting through my chest, but I decided to ignore that. Congratulations, Miss Hayama. I'm a little sad, but I'm very happy for you.
Excuse me?
But what was that reaction? Did I say something wrong?
Oh, I see what you're doing here. I get it. I didn't know you were actually quite shy.
Shy?
That's fine, if that's how you would like to handle it. Then I will only tell the bosses that I am resigning.
What? Seriously, what is going on here? I was really confused, but she turned her back to me. She headed towards our boss's office to hand in a resignation letter. And our boss, who never thought so highly of her in the first place, was very quick to accept her resignation. Everything was moving along so quickly that I didn't even have a chance to say anything. When I got home, is it just me, or was she even more strange than usual? Usually, she isn't able to talk to anybody besides me, but she seemed oddly enthusiastic. Maybe because she wouldn't be returning to the office, she didn't care what anybody else thought of her anymore? And plus, I thought that her attitude towards me was a little bit weird too. That reminds me, didn't she hand me an envelope earlier? Maybe there will be something written in there that will explain more about why she was acting like that today? That's all I thought. As I opened up the envelope, marriage registration? For some reason, inside was a marriage registration form. Not only that, but in the column under wife was her name filled out. Is she serious? This kind of clumsiness isn't funny. I don't know what she was trying to give to me, but there is a limit to how clumsy you can be to mistakenly put the marriage registration form inside instead. I hurried to try and call her, but then... who would be here at this time? I didn't order anything for delivery. For some reason, my doorbell rang. I was already in a panic and forgot to check the monitor. Went straight to the door. But then, standing there was...
Nice to meet you, Mr. Makishima. I'm Yota. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. I'm Azusa's mother.
For some reason, Miss Hayama and her mother were in my doorway. What is going on? May I help you? After I invited the two of them in, I got straight to the question.
Well, I thought I should introduce myself to the person who is going to become Azusa's husband.
What, husband? Did she just say husband?
On Saturday, I received a phone call from this one that her senior colleague that she has always had a crush on, you, Yota, proposed to her.
But is this a joke? When did I propose?
Not only that, but you are going to look after her for the rest of your life, you said. I am so touched by your beautiful proposal.
I see. To summarize, when I said that I would look after her for the rest of my life as my junior colleague in the company, she misunderstood that and took it as a marriage proposal. And now, I understand why she was acting so strangely. However, what do? Is it better that I tell them honestly and say that this is all a misunderstanding?
When I first heard the news, I was a little hesitant that perhaps she was misunderstanding. But surely that's not the case, is it? I did raise her as best we could, but I do know that she has a tendency to be introverted and overthink. So if this was a misunderstanding, I don't know if she'll ever be able to recover from this one.
Oh, wait a minute. Does this mean her mom actually knows what's going on? She also said that her mom was the one that recommended she quit her job. I feel like she's doing everything she can to make this happen.
Hey, Mom! What do you think I am? I would never make a misunderstanding like that. And he isn't the type to say anything that would lead me on.
I can't say it. I definitely can't say it. At this rate, I definitely can't say that I unintentionally led her on and that it's a misunderstanding. But also, Miss Hayama, she really is cute. And when I say cute, I'm not just talking about her face. Even though she was bad at talking to other people, when she got more comfortable with me, she came and spoke to me often. There's no way I wouldn't feel some type of way about that. I was a little worried that she might be too young for me, but I guess that's a trivial thing. That's why I decided. Mrs. Hayama, mother-in-law, I'm terribly sorry that this introduction was so delayed. Please, allow me to marry your daughter.
Mr. Makishima!
Oh dear, well, of course I would be thrilled. Please take good care of her.
Thank you very much. And so, I skipped over getting my first girlfriend ever and went straight to having a wife. But this happened partly because of my own fault, and I wanted to take responsibility for it. However,
Oh, but as for her father, he is still furious, so good luck.
turns out it wasn't over yet. After that, I went to Azusa's house and... But please, allow me to marry your daughter! The steer of the mountain. Which do you prefer? I'll let you choose whichever one you'd like. From her father, I was given a strangely terrifying question. I was scared about what was going to happen with the answer that I gave, but in the end, Azusa's mother stepped in and had a word with him, and he quickly agreed to the marriage. As it turns out, the only thing scarier than this scary father-in-law was my mother-in-law. It almost shocks me that a girl like Azusa was born from these two. Not too long after, Azusa and I got married and had our wedding. There may be a lot more confusion and difficulties ahead of us, but I wanted to do my best, so that I could make my wife, who was comfortable with me and me only, the happiest that she could be.
Thank you for watching. How was today's video? Please check out our other videos as well.